We live.
Okay. Yes. And we're back, people.
Well, setting up now.
Uh,
There you go.
okay. There we go. I'm just trying to find the link. Hey, hey, people. We're back.
BTT.
Back, baby.
I hope everybody liked the page. Subscribe to YouTube. We finally got the videos on YouTube. Good Lord.
Yes, because Trace is the best.
Yeah. So just in case you don't get to watch everything and have to dip out and get back in, you can go back and catch everything when you get a chance. Right on YouTube, just type in Big Table Talk or hashtag BTT3, and
Yes,
you'll definitely be able to get all the channels.
definitely. And if you guys ever have a subject matter that you just want to hash out and you want to talk about, inbox us, holler at us, let us know what you want to talk about. This table is open.
All the way.
We down with all the entanglements.
It's Friday Eve. I mean, yeah, Friday Eve. I'm so happy. I swear.
But that thing is important. That thing is important. That Friday Eve, it gives you hope. It gives you your second win, baby. You be like, here we go.
Yeah.
We on our way. We on our way. We finna arrive. Mm-hmm. Give the people some time to come into the room. Oh, we start.
What's your plans for the weekend?
Girl, what I do? Saturday, I will be at work in the morning. And then I'm supposed to be having this, I'm supposed to be going to listening to this Zoom about this susu, moo tutu, boo boo, foo foo, boom,
Long as
boule,
you know, yes,
boule, poo poo, shay, ale quoi.
Yes.
Whatever. I'm supposed to be going to speak to a young lady about it. My other best friend, she's like, shit, you got to do it, because if you don't do it, then when I become, got all the monies, then I ain't gonna talk to you no more, because I'm gonna have to look down on you like a peon. No, this is a real conversation. And I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna talk to the lady Saturday and kind of get a gist of it, because I don't mind giving up, $100 to let it grow and flow, but I need to understand the concept. I have no idea what this susu tutu is.
Yes, tutu.
For me, I just got to understand things, in order for me to be able to really jump in there like
A lot of people are doing it. I
that.
believe that you have to get in the right group.
Okay.
Because you jump in that wrong one, you get stuck.
Oh.
You get stuck. So if everybody's willing to bring people in and pull people in and keep going, it's definitely a come up.
Okay. So her is a group that she I believe her mom was in 1st. And so it's full of her mom's co-workers. So it's like good old government workers and things like that, and little older groups. I feel like I should be able to be all right, because her mama don't play with her money. She don't play with her
Y'all be
phone.
good. Pull some folks in.
Yeah.
If you get into it, I'll probably come right behind you.
Okay. So yeah, I'm
Because
gonna
I'm
talk
about to
to her.
get
I'm
in this
like,
other one.
I can do that. I blow $100 at a bar. So $100 is gonna come back to me 3 times fold, like, and definitely be a
Yeah.
part of the movement.
And that's the thing. So like what you just said, if you turn around and do that and some other people can't bring people in, so they expect it to be a repeated situation. It's like a redundant situation, so everybody win or bring people in. If somebody don't bring somebody in, everybody just gonna be sitting there.
Okay.
That's what I don't like.
Okay. So I got to bring in people. Like I don't get to just join and be with the person that brought me in. I got to bring in people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I bring 2 people.
Oh Lord God, too.
2.
Oh, see, the thing about it is, I'm a good participant, as in you
Tasha,
can
you
bring
mute
me
yourself, girl.
easily, but other
Huh?
than Goldie, who I'm saying to bring in, I don't like people
You gotta bring
to do
2.
this.
You gotta bring 2, and then they gotta each bring 2.
This one, Tasha talking. You got Tasha on here looking on. She don't want her face shown, but she gonna sit here and mute herself. You mute,
Look,
mute.
shut up. Don't listen. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. I
Hi
didn't send for
Kenya, I
you.
see you,
Listen,
Kenya
I
Boo.
ain't
Love
sent for
you.
you. No. That's because I was just. Hey, listen. You don't want me on camera right now. Trust me. Look,
You a
this
mess.
ain't. This not that kind of show. Listen,
Terrible.
they're gonna have to bring me $1. You have to bring some $500 for this.
Oh yes, I don't know. I mean, we might have to make it that kind of shout talk back. We might have to bring it into consideration. It's hard out here in these streets.
Get
Hold
that
on,
view.
for fans only
Get that
situation.
viewership up. Get that viewership up. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Rough. It's rough. I tell y'all.
I don't know if Kenya heard me. Hi Kenya. Love you. I see you, girl. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Tasha.
My
I
pleasure.
don't.
Look, I was downstairs. You hit me. I was like, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming.
Why can't I ever see the live stream? This is how I do
So,
it.
to go ahead and start today's
Yeah.
topic is
I'm gonna be right back.
okay.
Yes.
We missing one right now, but she'll be through in a few. Um,
Yeah.
today's topic is basically friendship and relationship, outgrowing friendship and relationships.
Hmm.
Um,
All the ships.
plenty of us probably been through that.
All the ships that have sailed.
All the
Yeah.
ships.
All the ships. All the ships. So I'll go ahead and start, and I'll start with a meme that I saw the other day. And it says, if you look at the people in your circle and you don't get inspired, you don't have a circle, you have a cage.
Yeah,
By Nipsey Hussle. And I'm fully on board with that, right?
that's a great quote.
Wonderful, right? Because at the end of the day, if my relationship, and this is where I start to lose people and lose friends or associates, because at the end of the day, I'm one of those people who feels like I want to be able to gain something out of my relationship with you. And I don't really care how it sounds. There is no ship that I want to be in if I'm not getting anything. And I'm not talking about it having to be monetary, but like if you can't pour into me, or if I can't look at you and be inspired, or we can't inspire each other and we can't boss up or gather in spiritually, whatever the connectivity is, if I can't get something from you out of this ship, then it has to sail. Like you have to go ahead about your business. You have to go ahead about your business. And I don't want you to feel like now we're beefing, because that is a big pet peeve of mine. If I stop contacting you on a daily basis, we were on a daily basis. Now I'm checking in on you rather than calling you every day. And we're not having that dialogue that we used to. It does not mean that now I'm upset with you. You've done something to me. I've done something to you, that now all exchanges and secrets that we had with each other need to go out in the street. It just means that you and I are no longer on the same path.
Right.
And I just want to be able to be let go without you having an attitude about it. Like you felt it slipping, like I felt it slipping. And because I'm the person who let it go, I don't want you out there bad mouthing me. We should be able to understand that it's no more. You, and I'm me, and we no longer on the same playing field. And I want people to accept that, especially adults. Like, when do we get so petty and like everybody want that "I was petty today" t-shirt and sipping from the petty cup? Like, why we got to have this type of energy? I don't feel like being petty. I don't want to. I want this relationship to be done. I want you to go your way. I want to go my way. And I wish you well. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at with it.
Some people don't know how to depart like that. They just still childish on top of that. I guess that's when my people say cold hearted or basically nonchalant. I will act like I never met you. We can sit in the same room, but it's not to be petty. It's just that
Mhm.
I don't want that energy no more. So my
Exactly.
whole thing is I gotta separate that and just act like we even never met before. And I hate that. Hey, how you doing? Hi and bye to certain people. For
Right.
others, I look right past you like you're a ghost. I sure will.
And I don't, I get that all the time too. And I'm just like, I don't want it to be like that. I'm cold hearted because I'm actually not. Like, I'm Mrs. Big Heart. Like, I give you the shoes off my feet, baby.
Yes.
But listen, I'm gonna give you these shoes, go buy me another pair of shoes, and never think about them again. Like, I don't have to, we don't have to. I don't want to have no dialogue with you if I don't want to. I can love you and I have no dialogue with you. What's your take on family? Can you outgrow family?
I have. That's a good question. I most definitely have, and I don't. I have other family members that be like, Tracy, stop, and I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. Like, I'm living my life.
I'm
The
doing
fact that
nothing.
I moved,
And
yeah, the fact that I
somehow
moved
doing
in,
nothing is the petty.
yeah.
Why?
Like, I'm not doing a thing. All I'm doing is actually, um, I'm just going on about my business. So I feel as though, and don't try to push anything on me. It's only been that like that with a few
Right.
family members, and it is what it is. And my family know I'm very vocal, or either I'm not. It's either one of the two. It's no in between.
Hmm.
It's you gonna get zero or you gonna get 100, and that's just it. So once I'm the kind of person, once you do anything to me, you show me your colors. I
Hmm.
don't care who you are. I'm done, and there's no coming back from it. There's no coming back. And I've done things to people that I shouldn't have, said things to people I shouldn't have, and I own up to it. But when you walk around like you haven't done that thing,
Hmm.
or you don't want to own and stand in your truth, then yes, I have a problem with you. Yeah,
Right.
I'm done. And that's how it is. Friendship, family, relationship, period. I don't care who it is.
I agree.
Plain and simple.
I agree. I think that we are in a society where everyone feels like you owe them something. Exes, friends from high school, whoever, cousins, they feel like you owe them. So you owe them a little piece of them and of yourself rather. And I just don't, I don't owe you. Like, no matter who you are, I do not owe you a piece of me. My my mental health is my number one thing, and if you are invading that space and you are not contributing in a positive way at all, then you got to be put on the back burner. You got to be cut off. I'm not going to be able to continue to have any type of relationship with you. I just can't. I cannot feed into that energy anymore. When I was younger, I tolerated things differently, and you deal with things differently, and you kind of push through. But I'm almost 40, sis. I don't, what I mean, I gotta save for
Oh,
the
you're still
grays
a
and things like that.
baby.
I don't gotta keep my skin tight, right?
Yes.
I can't be fronting up because I got put on the face to deal with somebody who's not pouring into me in a positive manner. Mm-mm. Ain't be able to do it.
I'm with it. I feel the
Yeah.
same way. As far as relationships, I don't think I got ever got to that point. I think they always did something. Then I had to dismiss
Always try.
always. It wasn't me. Tasha, mind your business. You're supposed to mute. Mute.
It wasn't me all the time. Trey, that's the subject for another day, but it wasn't me all the time.
Never. Absolutely not.
What?
Hello, y'all laughing? I'm dead serious. And I have to go back and ask the two that I was in the series, like, did I ever? Nah. It was all me. Oh, okay. I'm glad you admitted it.
Mm-mm.
All I need to hear.
Mm-mm.
I play my part. I do what I gotta do. And I play my part.
Well,
And if it's an issue, I want you to tell me
I
the
ain't gonna
issue.
lie.
So
I had to apologize to some women's sons, honey.
serious relationship. Are we talking about little relationships?
Apologize.
Because little relationships, I have this and stuff, but I'm talking about the serious ones.
Yeah, serious too, baby. I apologize. I done slid into some DMs. Listen, I'm so sorry about what had happened. And I might have did some things or not. Just period.
Now we got the little pit bull in here.
Oh no.
Are my babies safe?
Mm.
I
don't know.
can't
Maybe
see
it's-
myself.
We can't see you either.
Sometimes it takes a little second, but
Oh. Eric.
give it a little second. Like for some reason my audio pops up first and then my visual. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You. Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
beauty. Glad you safe.
Thank you so much. It was looking a little shaky there. I don't think I've ever been without a car that long.
Yes, you
But
have.
anyway,
'Cause
y'all go ahead. I'll
watching
jump
you.
in. I don't want to interrupt. Y'all go ahead. I'll jump in as needed.
Yes.
Well, we basically were just talking about with friendships, outgrowing friendships, and how to handle it, deal with it, and how did they deal with it, and we just started talking about relationships, outgrowing relationships, and I said I never have outgrown a
She
relationship.
said it wasn't me. That's what she said. She said none of the relationship. No, because see, she liked how she get the girl. Can I tell what she said was, okay.
Oh, you gonna recap her?
No, I'm a recap her. What she
Okay.
said was, I don't know about relationships. I can say that, none of those, ended that way. They always wind up doing something. I said, they always end up doing something? Her, all the time. It was always them. It was never me. It wasn't me. Like that.
If I could, I would tag them right here and be like, get on here and tell the truth, shame the devil. Because they know.
So you never outgrew them.
I never got a chance
never
to
got
outgrow.
a chance to outgrow them because they always did something to fuck up, is what she's saying.
Thank you.
So this they got broken up with before she even could outgrow them. Mm-hmm. That's what she said. That's what she said.
Okay.
Me, well, unfortunately, I have had to apologize to some women's sons. I've had to apologize to some people's sons. I've not necessarily done the right thing. But
so what about you, Aries? What about the friendship and relationships? And you were terrible. First of all, let me go back. You terrible messing with them boys and messing with their mental. She terrible.
Listen, it's millions of them who have taken out women. So I'm just trying to make the odds even. It's a few of us sisters out here trying to even up the odds. I'm on the up and up now.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm so lost. I'm confused. I really am. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, where do I start? So relationships. This is one, okay, full transparency, all right. I think I outgrew one relationship, and that was because He was much younger than me, and well, not much, but a few years. And you know, they say that women are already far more like mature than men anyway. So I was his senior, and I feel like I was more mature. I came into the relationship with 2 children already. He had no children. I had been living on my own since I had my first child, and he never lived alone, always kind of had like a roommate kind of situation or whatever. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but I'm just saying that was his experience. I was always just very financially literate and very responsible in a way of like, you know, saving money and doing things like that. I was just very structured. And I don't know, just, you know, many of us women can relate to just kind of getting in something, thinking that, you know, you're going to bring something to him. Basically, you're going to change him just based off of what you're doing. Like he's going to eventually catch up and mimic that. And that just never happened. And I was always moving, trying to make bigger and better moves. And it felt very stagnant, I guess. And it was just like, I started losing interest slowly but surely, right? That was the first person I felt like I ever, if I had the opportunity, I would have cheated on. And I've never cheated in a relationship, but that was one situation where I probably would have stepped out had, you know, it not come down quickly to the point where it was like, yeah, we got to be done, right? So that was relationships. I don't have much experience with outgrowing relationships. I can honestly say every relationship I've had that just kind of dissolved, if you will. I was like really kind of still into them in some kind of way. It was still like an attachment or whatever. And I guess that don't mean you didn't outgrow them. Still have feelings, but you can still outgrow them. But I don't have much experience with that. Friendships, absolutely. And that really just comes down to, like, real short in a nutshell, I do everything big and intense. I love big, I love intensely. I'm hard. If I'm riding with you, I'm riding hard for you. And I can promise you, I don't care if we used to play with each other in the sandbox at Friendship down in Southeast DC in pre-K. That history means absolutely nothing to me. So while I know that a lot of people do put a lot of weight on, years in history, it's not it for me. My thing is, relationships are always giving, right? It's an always giving type of thing, and it's ever evolving, but you don't ever stop giving. You are always pouring into the friendship. You need to always be adding to the friendship. And yeah, we're all going to have our moments and things like that, but like for you to just kind of have this long stretch of you not wanting to feed or put effort into the friendship, we can't bang no more. And I definitely have outgrown some friendships. I have friends that I've met years ago that are far, closer to me than, others who I have history with. And that's because, you don't really get to be like, you moved away and we ain't talking in 5-6 years. You might send a very generic text here and, during holidays or birthdays or something like that. But I done probably been through a job change, some things with the kids, just life. And you have not caught up. You have not tapped in. And so are we friends? No, we know each other. I'm okay with that. Right. And that's really just where I am. And then there's those friendships that you grow out of, not by a natural process, but just off some BS. You know what I mean? Like you on some silly stuff, you on some clown stuff, and I ain't really banging with you, rocking with you, and I don't really care that we have, we've been through a lot. Like we've been through a lot, and it's like, yeah, we've been through a lot, which is why there are it's like this many things that I expect for you really not to do. So you kind of cross that line that makes me question loyalty, that makes me question trust, plants seeds of doubt. It's really no reason for us to really continue, because I feel like those things are avoidable. Like, you know what I mean? You're either not a loyal person by nature, or you're just not. I don't know how you teach loyalty. Like, be good to me. Be good to me how you want me to be good to you. It really is that simple for me.
Yeah.
That's how I go in and out of them, straight like that. So that's
Straight like that.
straight like that.
Yes. You can't teach loyalty to him. You know that.
Mm-mm.
Period.
It's definitely not.
It's just, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Not
Yeah.
at all.
So
I agree.
that's that.
I agree. How about family? So I told Trace, I said, you know, the issue is that some people don't realize that you can outgrow family members. They're people too. And yes, we are related, and therefore I have to be relatable to you, but I can also outgrow you, sis. Or my brother. I don't care who you are, you can be outgrown, and family is included. And that's one of those sectors, just like sandbox joints. Your family and the people you've known since like elementary school, they feel like they own a little different type of piece of you. So I find myself always having a battle internally, like, oh, goodness. I try a little harder with them, but I outgrow y'all too. Like, I don't feel like I owe them anything either. And that they can also be on the cutoff list and, hey, how you doing? Happy birthday, happy New Year's list. But say you.
Yeah, for sure. Just, you know,
I used to be.
I have, I don't know. I'll be honest. I have a story where I have a very close situation like that. Like, I'm talking immediate family type of situation. Grew up Southeast Washington District of Columbia, right? Yeah. Some of the 4th Street, so one of the like hoodest of hoods in DC. And when I started having kids, it was very important to me that the environment change, right? For them, it was a no-brainer. So, you know, I knew I had a certain career path and things like that. So, you know, I was just forward moving, you know what I mean? Just moving forward and pressing in. And eventually I ended up getting my kids moving all the way to Bowie. I never forget. Close family member said to me, "Oh, you think you better than everybody because you moving all the way out to Bowie." First of all, Bowie is still in Prince George's County, Maryland. Okay. Secondly, yeah, I did. I moved my boys, Black boys, you know, away from, you know, an area that I considered to be less safe than where we were moving to. So I was trying to do my very best to put them in an environment that they can be successful, thrive, and live. You know, I'm always better than trying to be better than family members and things like that. And I say all that to say, that's a mindset. So that's a mindset that you can say to someone, you think you're better, no, rather than good job, boss move, show me how I can do it. Like, you understand what I mean? Yes. So in my head, I've outgrown you mentally, that yes. You feel that me moving to another area is about me wanting to be better than anyone else, rather than me just trying to be better for me. Do you understand? So yeah, that outgrown plenty of family members. You know what I mean? Me and she have this conversation often. about breaking generational curses. And I'm telling you, man, when you're the first one, that it's tough when you're the first one that actually walks the road less traveled. It's really, really tough because you're used to a certain, you're used to certain things being done in a certain way. You're taught all your life this way, and you sitting here trying to break through like, I don't want to do that anymore. I actually want to go this way. And so it's really, really tough. You know what I mean? We have this little family group chat, and it's everything from shade to bickering to bitterness to nepotism to everything is in this group chat. And when I find energy to give, because most often I don't, I actually do, I speak out on it. And then it'll get real silent. It gets real silent.
You be the whistleblower and the finger point, you know what I mean?
How dare I be the whistleblower? Absolutely. Like all these years, uncles have had favorite nieces and grannies have had favorite grandkids. How dare you speak out on that? Because you need to stop. Very simple. Very, very simple. Like, just stop it. Because at the end of the day, everybody is doing the absolute best they can for their lives, their children, and their family. And then all of you are on the outside. Cheer me on with that.
Cheer me on.
Cheer me on.
My cousin just said, shame is someone who aspires better for themselves, only shows their own insecurities.
I agree. Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely outgrown. I can honestly say it's only like a handful of family members that I would be able to sit down and like have a conversation and gain something from, like, you know what I mean? Like, here's some real wisdom, because everyone is still stuck, in the place of, I feel like I've surpassed. I swear to God, I can't go back there with y'all. I promise. If I don't make
ain't gonna be no backpedaling.
If I don't make another goddamn step forward, I can promise you I ain't going back there. I can promise you that. So
did I just say that?
Huh?
I just said the same thing.
Well, yeah, I can't do that. That never happened.
I'm over it. I think a lot of times too in families, and I hate it because you're not supposed to be like that. It's a competition thing. Why are we competing against each other instead of helping each other out? That's the dumbest thing.
Because we stronger together. And I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care what nobody says. We stronger together. Period. We just are. That's in business. That's in family. That's in life. That's in growth. That's in your spirituality. We are stronger together. Period. Like, exactly. And when everyone has that mentality, then you can go ahead and grow. But when you don't, I got to curve you, baby. I don't have time. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if we've been friends for 22 years. Curved.
And see, that was my
you ain't adding. You just going along to get along. You ain't adding no more. Everything it feels very scripted. You ain't gave me no raw in a very long time. You jumping around and tiptoeing around, and everything gets smiles and all this other stuff. And I'm like, do you really care what's going on with me? Are you even forthcoming and transparent with what's going on with you, like we used to do? So when people start moving different in that way, that's another indication that you are outgrowing each other. Because where y'all used to be each other's confidant and share everything, now every conversation is, how are you? I'm good. How you doing? Glory be to God. Glory be to God. But let me tell you what's happening with me. I feel like God done left me. Can you take that? You feel like talking about it? Or you just trying to get through the conversation, right?
Right.
I don't need it.
No, I need to know. I need to know.
I need somebody to share life with me, all of it.
Right.
All of it. Share this entire thing, because I tell you in a minute, we are not meant to be alone. We are meant to share life, because it's rough it's not a game. So like we either gonna go through it, or you can go ahead and find you somebody else to glory be to God with, because I can't do it. I need to cry today. Can you meet me? Pull up.
Pull up. Hello.
Pull up.
And if I'm crying about some bullshit, love me enough to say, this is bullshit. This right here is bullshit, shit.
Yeah.
You got to come out of this, sis.
Yeah.
Give me that. Those are my friends. Like, shit, this is dumb. Because I'm sure tell you, listen, sweetie, you
Yeah.
It's gotta be that way.
Moni said a few things. Moni was like, when people don't see you moving different, they feel you need to move at their pace, which is true. Most definitely true.
So that's my cousin. That's my cousin. I love
Moving different don't always have to be seen or told. Absolutely. And that's the honest to God truth.
That's so true too. That's so true too.
That's facts. Yeah. So I don't know, man. You know,
I don't want to have to announce that I'm growing. I think that through the conversation that we have, and you checking on me, I'm checking on you, you see the growth. And either you're also in that motion, or you're inspired by something that I'm doing or that I'm not doing. That's how that has to go. I don't want to have to sit down and have a full out discussion about what my happenings and what I'm doing next and how I'm moving. That should just come naturally if we're truly friends, or if we're truly family members. It should just be natural. It should be innocent.
Yes.
Tasha says, some folks are my kin. We share a bloodline, but family is another level. Being family doesn't always require shared blood. But everyone being held to a standard.
Speak that truth.
Man.
I mess people up all the time when I say that. Oh, I have people that I'm related to, and then I have my family, right? Like the people I know when I'm down and all the way out, I can pick up the phone. Or matter of fact, I don't even have to pick up the phone. I don't go missing. Twin like, hey, yo, so what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah.
You know,
what's
that's
happening?
family.
Is this a pull-up moment? You know, that got so good. Is it a pull-up moment? Is it you need space moment? Meaning I'm going to give you maybe 3 more days. Still got to get it together, right? You're not about to fall into this whole dark abyss. Like, we not doing that. But let me know where to go from here. This is check-in number 1. You don't get many.
That's nothing but the truth. I had to tell her, and I had to learn this because I used to be the one to be like, oh, you know, my friends, we can don't talk for months and and jump right back like ain't nothing happened. That ain't happening no more. Like I'm way past that. Like
we all said like that. You grow out of that.
That don't work for me no more.
That was my saying, baby. If you know me, you know that I cannot speak to you for months and still be your friend.
But I learned what made me jump out of that was when my brother passed away. I had people that I hadn't talked to in years was like, hello, hey, what, you at home? Oh, okay, hang up. Next thing you know, they're at my door. And if I'm just sitting there, they just sitting there with me. And these people I hadn't talked to in years, and they just sat there. And after that, it was more of a, damn, I let this time go past like this, and this happened. I gotta come back to this, and we're still back communicating to this day. They still check up on me to this day. Like, and I check up on them. Same thing, vice versa. So
reconnections are real. Reconnections are real. Reconnections can happen. For sure, because in my opinion,
but it has to be organic. You can't come back with the same bull, and some people do that. You coming back to the table and you still the same you that I had went ahead and distanced myself from 2 years ago.
Problematic.
The fuck? Come back with this.
You live and you learn. Some of us learn late.
I don't even know about necessarily learning late. I think you learn at the pace in which you are supposed to grow, and that character is supposed to be developed in that season of your life. That, you know what I mean? I feel like it's all meant to happen and circle around exactly as it's doing. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like but you feel like you are learning, or you feel like, the reason I say that, let me just start over. The reason I say it like that is because I know that there are certain things that I've gone through that I could verbally say, oh my God, lesson learned. Never gonna do it again. Certain things and situations have a way of coming back. It's the same exact lesson, but it looks different.
Yeah.
And it's not until you recognize that once you fail at it, right? And you like, this was that same lesson I thought I learned. You're hard on yourself saying, well, dang, I thought that was lesson learned, and now I feel like I ain't learned nothing. No, you really did. You just have to accept the transition as it comes, because then he's got a way of just kind of cycling back just to see if you fully like right with it. Just to like see if you fully like done with it. If you're fully delivered, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, I got a few people like that. I got a few people, well, I got a few Achilles heel, right? And scarred, like scarred me, did some shit to me that man, I should have laid hands. That's for real. Like and you forfeit that, right? You forfeit that once it's done, but you know that you ain't done with it when you can sit here or camera and be like, I should have laid hands. I should be over it. But yet I'm saying that I'm over it. I'll tell anybody, oh, I'm over that, done with that, right? Because you really feel that you've done the work. You really feel that you think I'm good. And then when you go to talk about it, you like, I should have laid hands. I'd have felt better. I feel like I'd have healed a little better. You know what I mean? I'd have definitely made an example, but now that's forfeited. So you truly have to know when you have crossed over that hill. And me crossing over the hill was going to be when I say, man, I ain't need to fight nobody. I don't know when that's going to come. So I can't say it wasn't lesson learned, because I'm still not over that hill. It's You know what I'm saying? Like it's still a lesson learned. But yeah. I'm not listen. I'm drinking neat.
That growth thing is difficult, baby. It's a continuous decision.
It ain't cute.
Growth is a continuous decision to choose
humility.
Teenagers is something. That teach you a different type of humility. But you have to wake up every day and choose to move past it. You have to choose to not be petty. You have to choose to, you know what I mean? Because
there's so many to not tell your side of the story.
Over and over again. Forever and ever.
Ever.
That part right there. I don't know if I could ever. And I've been trying so hard. And I think you'll get
it. You'll get it. I think the difficult part for me is no, not difficult, but my light at the end of the tunnel be when there may have been other people involved, right? And those people didn't know my side of the story, right? Still don't, because I still choose not to tell the full story.
And suggestions sometimes, God.
And they come around and they be like, hey, so bop, boop, boop. And then I sit back like that. And they be like, I ain't need know that, shawty. I be like, you didn't know. Like, you know what I mean? You feel validated, you feel vindicated, and you like, I tried to tell y'all, but it is what it is. And then you move on. And you still don't tell your side of the story. Now, don't you fall asleep, because you know exactly what it is.
Tasha said, and the reason why she's saying it is because I've been trying to actually grow to be this person. Because soon as something happened, I'm like, nope, nope, this is what happened, nope, nope, nope. And I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna go down. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna tell you this. But I've been trying to be the better person to be like, no, I'm gonna sit back. Don't you say a word, Tracy, because everything that happened is gonna unfold, and people gonna see the truth regardless. And I only been in a couple situations recently. I wait till I get almost 40 years old to get in some dumb stuff, and that's the problem that I had. But um, she said I read something that said you have to be. Oh, I read something that said you have to be okay with the villain in someone's story.
Baby, and that's the truth, because to be honest, Trace, 90% of the time your truth is never heard, and that the truth will come out shit is shit people say to make themselves feel good. Please note that most of the time you are forever the villain. It is forever in the book. Agreed. It does not, no one goes back and say, well, you know what, let's think about this logically. Tracy probably didn't do so and so and so and so. No one goes back to defend you. You are
because it's been so much stuff.
You literally got to lay on that shit.
You got to lay on it. You got to lay on it. You got to, and that
tough.
Is what the whole being okay with it. Because at the end of the day, I can promise you, if you somebody who can hear what story and feel some way about me, I ain't need you in my circle, shawty. I don't need you around me. Get the entire fuck. And that's just what it is. That's what it is. It's like, it's truly one of them things where, you know, people are going to, they want to hear something, right? Because if they wanted to hear the truth and they were that invested, then they'll seek it out, which typically, like, you go to the source and you figure out what the story is. Most people want to hear what they want to hear, what they're hearing, just so they can tell it to the next person in a different way. So yes. It's never a situation. You're not about to get no free fighters going around the city trying to vindicate your name. It's really never going to happen.
Yep. Oh, I get it. I get it now.
So sad. That's all right.
I totally get it.
That's all right. I'll
about to have me out in these streets knocking people out at 40 years old. I'm tired. Put my gloves on. Tired.
Tracy.
I stopped. I did. No, seriously. And people know me from back a long time ago. Like, my temper was way. And as soon as something happened, it's like, it's no stopping me, especially when I get to that point. And then especially if I feel like you did me wrong or you backstabbed me and it's coming out a whole different way, baby. Ooh, it's a bad situation. When I say it's a bad situation, it's a bad situation. So now I have to learn just to be like, you're not good for me. You're not good for me. Let me cut you off. Let me sit back a minute. Not a minute. Let me sit back. And I really think I'm done. And I gotta look at you like I look at the other people. Oh, hey, how you doing? Even if you get that, you might not get that. So I just
hey Stephanie, hey Boots.
Had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And it's bad when you think it's the people that you really think that's on your side, the people that you've been batting for, you've been rooting for, you've been trying to help out. It hurts. It hurts. And then on top of that, it's a sad situation. People don't look at you the same way. You out here fighting for them, and then they don't give a shit about you when anything happens. Like, I'm over it. And I had to learn, and I had to seek who were friends and who was actually rooting for me. And they always say, like, your environment, that you have to be around certain people to actually, attached to whatever they're doing. Like, I don't want to be around somebody that's just like, oh, I'm not working and, doing this, don't have no ambition in life, no nothing. That mood, that vibe, it jumps off on you. It jumps off from them on you. Like, I don't want to be around people like that. So if you're around a person that's not loyal, no ambition, no nothing. I just learned a lot basically in these past 3 years and learn who I need to be around and who I need to vibe off of. And
I think you're gonna be will forever be learning that.
Oh, yes.
I think we're gonna always need to be very conscious of the company we keep, the environments we're in, and just because of the society we're in, like it's so trendy, trainish, and no one's thoughts are their own. Somebody posts something, the first comment, everybody tends to piggyback that. Like I don't know. I don't know. But I think it's just going to always be something that you have to do when you're someone that really cares about your peace of mind. You're someone that's so very intense about truth and just being real and authentic. I mean, I gather life is real easy for the fakers. I think it's very easy for them.
Yep.
Very easy for them. So when you're someone that refuses to conform to that, when you refuse to actually go to an event of someone that you don't like just because they invited you, where they invited you just because they're trying to probably show off, and or they gonna get in their little cliques and factions just to talk about you, and then you accept it. Bitch, we don't even like each other. Why are you inviting me? And then I'm checking me like, why am I going? When you somebody that make the choice to refuse to be in those kind of situations, like the whole, listen, I refuse to sit at tables where when I get up, I gotta worry whether or not I'm being talked about. When you're someone who's intentional with that, you're just, it's just real tough to just kind of stay true to yourself and just be okay with being the villain in somebody's story.
That's very true. And I think that the fact checking, like, like understanding that a lot of people don't know who are really for them. They are taking this internet, this social media life, as people being for them. They are taking the likes and the comments under their post as people really being for them. No, that was 200 people who was strolling down their phone and decided to comment or like your post, but that does not mean they are going to check on you when you're ill, that they're going to run you some gas money.
You go way too deep with it even there. This is somebody that don't even like you. So
this true too. But you know what I mean? So like, it's people who really think that they have 200 friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are surface ass people who like your surface ass post, who may or may not have actually even read it, but you swear you got people banging for you. They're not. They don't care about you. Oh, what the fuck you just said.
And that's the truth. That's definitely the truth.
Just absolutely out here pretenders.
Yeah, man. Transformers.
Anybody want to get on?
Desperados.
Talk to us.
Billy Boots say everyone says that they are real, not fake.
Boots, I'm gonna put my foot up your butt.
So somebody welling. Facts, brother Boots. Somebody out here telling a lie.
Put him on.
Oh, you bang for Shia, huh? You bang for Shia, Boots, but you don't bang for nobody. Okay. You coming on, Boots?
Hey, what y'all drinking? I missed that.
You know what I'm drinking.
You drinking coolers and tequila. Oh shit.
This is Coco.
I want to ban you for being able to buy those. Oh, you drinking rum?
Helen? This is
and Red Bull.
Helen, you want to get on this?
15% alcohol from Aldi's.
Shut up. Look, that was so loud. Jesus, in this loft. Listen, 15%. That's some great alcohol content.
Yeah, you got to put your face on, Boots. It don't work like that. You internet. One bang, one sound.
It's made with standard orange
Do he
wine.
gotta put his face on?
That's
The
what he
man
said.
who likes to take selfies and he has had podcasts.
And you've been on channel 7,
And
channel
he
5,
currently has a
channel
show.
10, channel 22. Come on now. If you don't go sit
Brother
down,
Boots, come on now.
I'm being all
Hey,
over the news.
hey, cousin Mooney, you said
All these here I come. You better pull up, sis.
Listen,
Baby.
I'm trying to tell you, it's the
Yes,
best.
Tanisha. I
It's
like
a,
cool too.
it's a $4 move, cousin. It's a $4 move.
Hey, Tanisha, don't do that, baby. What
Yes, she
Tanisha
does.
said, I like
And
Kool-Aid.
trust me, if you get into this Kool-Aid and that tequila like, baby,
My gut can't take the sugar.
it's not
My
a lot
gut
of
can't.
sugar.
Yeah, I don't
It's
believe
bad.
you. Show it. No, show the nutritional facts.
I'll show you.
You know I don't really play. Show me that. Get back to me.
It says 0 sugar,
Oh, now you lying.
0 carbs,
Now you lying, Transformer.
and 2%,
Stop
3.2% of alcohol.
Stop capping.
3% alcohol?
3.2.
Oh yeah, you need that kilo with that, baby. Jesus
Boots
Christ.
wanna know how he come on,
it Kool-Aid. I was wondering
oh,
why she was calling it Kool-Aid.
Hey, listen, when I told you that drink got like 82 grams of sugar. It's like
Yeah, first of all,
it's like the equivalent of 4 sodas.
I'm about to mute you real quick if you keep on. First of all, I mix mine. It's not, unless it's a Sunday when I'm chilling or a day, and I told her I drink it like it's a soda. But other than that, it's mixed with tequila. So it's not just.
My answer is the same. You too old to be drinking those children's drinks.
I don't drink children's drink if it has something else in it, ma'am.
Oh.
Aha.
Hey, I asked my son to go to.
Calvin said send him the information so he can get in.
I gotta do that.
Oh, it's thundering. Y'all better hurry up.
Uh-oh.
It's thundering. Where you go at, Chuck? It ain't thundering in Southeast, baby. Skies is clear. Skies is
clear. The skies are clear.
Yes, tiny. Thank you.
Hey, Trace.
She said if you drink it real fast, you'll get a buzz.
They don't understand. Let me tell you something. I drink that thing like it's soda. Then I'll be like, what? Like, what just happened? Trying to tell you. Y'all gonna stop hating on my coolers.
All right, I think I sent you.
Tosh, Tosh, I ain't heard from you. Who you not had to cut off, baby?
Sasha wanna get in.
Let me get in.
You gotta show your face, Tasha.
Who you not had to cut off, boo? I know you done had to cut somebody.
You gotta show your face, Tasha.
Okay.
She said we was gonna have to give her some dollars if she showed her screen. Twin, you muted your screen, Twin.
I didn't. I unmuted it.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm at.
It
don't matter. All right. I can't even see me, but okay.
Your face should be on, boo-boo. Turn your camera on.
Sometimes it's a delay, a little delay.
Oh yeah, she said
it's Brother Boots.
Can y'all see me?
Mm-hmm.
We see you, nigga.
Hold on. Hold tight. Let me put my glasses on.
No, you gotta put your old man glasses on now.
Yeah.
There we go.
What y'all in here talking about, man?
Growing people, family members, relationships, and friends.
I think the big thing is reciprocity. Like, if you're not getting reciprocity in a relationship, whatever it is, family, friends, I don't care, then it's not going to work out. Now I had a situation. It's like, I think we have people and we think, okay, we call you a friend and we think all friends are supposed to be the same. But you have to understand the type of relationship you have with each person is going to be different, right? So I used to have this really close friend for like over 20 years, and like people used to be like, y'all close, but I was able to just walk away after over 20 years of being friends with this person, because when the dynamics changed, when you start treating me a certain way, that I see you treating other people, right? And I've been honest with you about who you are as a person. But if you're treating me a certain way, that's not going to work. And he didn't understand the dynamics of our friendship, in that who I was for him wasn't who he was for me, right? So people don't understand the levels that we're on. So I'm the one that he could always come to talk. I was helping him go through a lot of things, and he was growing and learning about things, that because he lived in a box, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a circle with neon colors, and he black and white in a box, and that's not going to work for a lot of people. But if I accept you for exactly who you are, you know, I might be outgrown you, but you haven't outgrown me, because you still learning. So we can, again, it works both ways. It may be someone that I'm learning from that may be above and beyond me. But when we both get to a place where those roles change and it's not serving either of us, and we don't understand where we fit anymore, it's going to come to an end. And you got to be okay with walking away.
Have to be okay with that.
Yeah, peace of mind, right? What you were saying earlier, that's like, Shay, I think that's the most important thing, is that if you don't have peace of mind, if you're not at peace with yourself, self-care, and haven't put yourself first, and that's not selfish in any way. So I get what Aries is saying about with the family thing, when you know you got to cut and move forward because I'm just no longer in that place, then you move on. But I think that's so that's the reciprocity, is it comes back around, and understanding where people fit. Like I said, with this guy, he thought, well, you didn't come and talk to me when you were going through this. And I had to explain, well, you've never been that for me. You're not who I turn to. I know exactly where I fit in your life and where you fit in mine. And that's not who we are. So if I'm going through something, you're not the one I'm going to go to. And so he was upset about that. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we could take a time out if you need that. And if we don't ever speak, that's fine too. But and that's what people don't get. Sometimes they put in their mind that they play a certain role in your life that they don't. So when they think you say you've outgrown and you moving on, they take it personally.
Yeah.
It's not personal. It's about me.
I felt that.
And that's the thing. I totally agree, Natasha, because at the end of the day, like you said, it should get to a point where we're both feeling that we're no longer being fed here, right? Unless someone is just completely oblivious to the fact that what is going on. You know what I mean? Like the dynamics, how the dynamic of the friendship or relationship has changed. At the end of the day, we both feeling something. So it just so happened that I may have been the one to bring forth the dissolution of the relationship. You know what I mean?
Right.
It could have easily been you, like saying, hey, I'm feeling that there's something that has changed. I'm not feeling like there's any reciprocity. I'm not feeling like I'm being fed in a relationship or friendship. I don't feel like I'm giving you what I used to give you. And I feel like we just need to go our separate ways. So it just it just needs to be understood, and you need to be transparent, and you need to be honest with what it is.
You gotta be honest with yourself first, because a lot of people won't admit the role that they play or don't play and where they have fault, which is where I disagree with Tracy earlier, Miss Goldie, is that when you was like, you didn't have any responsibility, you like, I ain't do nothing wrong. It was them. That's why you didn't outgrow them. I believe that there is no relationship, friendship, family, otherwise, that doesn't come to an end because both people contributed. Even if it was 1% and they was 99, you know where your 1% is? Where you didn't set the boundaries properly so that they wouldn't mistreat you. Like, so that there are lines that have to be drawn sometimes for people, and we allow them to continue to cross them. So all relationships can come to an end, even if I only have a half a percentage point. At some point in time, I made a move that made them think it was okay to do something to disrespect me, or to be okay with that, and that I would forgive and move on and let it go. Because a lot of times when we love and care for people, we'll let something pass. We won't say anything. Sometimes we'll say something and we'll give them another shot, so it could either way. But there was something
When you
that
leave
took
that
place
door
where there was a
open.
red flag, you ignored it, you didn't say something, or you did say something, but you let it move on. And they was like, oh, I got away with it this time. So in their mind, there was no reason for them not to try it again or to do something else to try to you could cross a line. People want to push the lines, right? It's like they like, oh, you got to set those boundaries and know what your deal breakers are for all relationships. The deal
Deal
breakers are
breakers, baby.
important.
But again, that also comes with maturity in your within yourself. Because again, it comes down to something you said about just being honest with yourself. Like if it doesn't feel good, you have to explore that. If it no longer feels right to you, trust yourself enough to explore it. Because some people will, again, they will hinge on that history part of it. It's 20 years. This can't be me. Like, it's no way I can throw this away. It's no way that this person can.
That was me.
It's getting to the point where they're, you know what I mean? They are betraying me or no longer, being good to me. Right? You have to be honest with that feeling that you have in your gut that this just might be it. It's worth exploring.
Absolutely.
That set yourself free.
I love that.
Boots.
Brother Boots.
And also we got Helen at the Boots. That's my cousin.
Hey.
I don't, I don't really have a lot of, honestly, this is one time, y'all know I like to talk and run my mouth, but this is one time I don't really have a lot of insight because I don't have a lot of personal experience with this. I mean, I do have good friends that I've been friends with for a long time where we're not friends anymore, but it's not necessarily because, they betrayed me or I feel like there was no give and take in our friendship or there was, I felt like, they did me dirty, so to speak. The few cases that I can point to is just, people grow differently. Their interests change, what's important to them change. And so, it becomes an out of sight, out of mind type of thing. And next thing you know, you wake up and you just haven't talked to a person in 2 months, and then I turn into 2 years, and then that 2 years must turn into 10 years. And so I don't really have a whole lot of personal input on that. But I will say this, and this, I think what you guys are talking about, like, I don't really know of a nice way to say this, but I only hear women talking about stuff like this. I'm not saying that men
don't outgrow each other.
I'm not. Yes. Well, yeah. I just said that I have friends that I've outgrown, but as far as the aspect of
that's the base of it.
You my friend, and I'm holding on to this toxic relationship, and I have to be strong within myself to one recognize that it is toxic and remove myself from that situation, so on and so forth. Like, I guess it does happen, but I just don't hear a lot of dudes going through that. And if they do, maybe it's a thing they just don't talk about. I don't know.
I think it's that. I think simply put, it is that guys just don't have the energy to, or even just the capacity to even sit around and talk about it.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because I know a male.
They will talk about it.
I was about to say, I know a male that will and
talk
told
about
me
it
that.
with other females instead of other men.
Exactly. I know a male personally that I grew up with, but he lived in North Carolina. He moved away to a certain part from North Carolina to another part. And he goes back home every so often for like Thanksgiving or whatever. But he was like, I think these dudes think that I'm supposed to do the same thing they've been doing. I've outgrown that. So males go through that. They definitely do.
Yeah. And no, that's real.
They definitely do, and they talk about it. So it just depends.
Yeah, that's
I've
real.
had people tell me that.
And maybe a lot of times stuff like that, those are the times where guys may talk to like their close female friends, and because they've heard them talk about it with their friends, so they say, "Oh yeah, I'm going through the same thing. I'm gonna holler at her," like, as opposed to, "Man, let me tell you what happened to Troy, man. Troy, woo, woo." The only time those type of things generally happen with men, from what I see, not that it's gospel, but from what I see, is if it's a situation where someone just straight up did someone dirty. Like you did someone dirty, you took some money from them, you tried to go at their lady, something crazy and wild. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I think women probably look for closure a lot more. They like, we need
Yeah,
closure.
yeah,
And you're not going to always
yeah.
get it. Like people not, and that's what a lot of people don't get. Sometimes you just have to walk away.
Yep.
There's not going to be a conversation. There is not going to be a follow-up. You are not going to get the answers. And so I think a lot guys are okay with doing that a lot more. I think women, that they operate more on an emotional basis. They kind of want some
I
closure
totally
or
agree with
some
that.
kind of
Yeah,
answer.
that's a good point.
We want to sit and have that conversation and say, okay, look, I'm not going to be calling you. I'm not going to talk to you tomorrow.
Right.
I'm not calling you after the day, okay?
Yeah.
I need you to understand why. But guys are just like, yeah, nah, okay.
They grow apart silently. I agree.
That's a good
I've
point.
watched that
when I
happen with my
didn't call,
husband and certain friends. Just
right.
there wasn't no conversation. It
Yep.
wasn't no sit down over dinner. It just happened.
They were like, when I didn't
So,
call, you knew what that meant, because you were supposed to always call on Sunday. I didn't call this Sunday. We moved on. So yeah.
Tanisha
That's a
just
good
said
point.
that. Tanisha just said women hold on to friendships more. That's why.
Yeah.
Helen.
I don't know.
I'll cut people off.
I disagree with that, but I respect it.
I don't either. I'd like to say that men actually tend
Absolutely.
to have
Absolutely.
better and longer relationships than women.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people get so wrapped up into themselves to a degree that something that is relatively minute could be something that's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that to me. And that builds resentment. And then that turns into, oh, he or she don't really fuck with me. And I'm gonna distance myself from them. And then the other person is like, how we gonna be beefing and you the only one beefing? Like, what's going on?
Yes.
Like, what's going on? Like,
we know
beef
that
with people I didn't even know we was beefing.
and if we was
that
beefing,
happens as
why you
well.
ain't come talk to me?
Yeah, no, that happens as well.
Yeah, and
somebody tell you, I know y'all was getting it. Like, what? What happened?
I'm like, shit, me either.
Let me tell you how that's the worst, because again, that goes back to, how did somebody else come to me and tell me you beefing with me? Now,
Wow.
whereas I didn't have a problem, now I got a problem. Now we got two problems.
Now we got a problem.
Two problems.
Yep.
We actually, that was the first one didn't even count, because I ain't even know. But this one, you gonna know it exists.
Yeah, like you done let somebody infiltrate the whole castle. I'm thinking we was all gravy, and you sitting here going to somebody who probably don't even like me.
Well, see, but
that taking to them how you feel that I done done something.
Mostly always someone that don't like you. They choose that person for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, because they need that allegiance. That's typically what.
But see, that goes back to what I said about letting them. It's okay to be the villain. Sometimes you don't even have to clear that one up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the villain in some story I didn't even know I had a part in. But okay, because until you come to me, is it really all that important? I didn't know to begin with. So, okay, thanks for letting me know. Oh, that's why I haven't heard from them. Oh, that's why we not talking. I appreciate it. But until I hear from you, I'm really good.
How you feel about it, Helen?
You muted, baby.
Wait.
Tracy had her muted.
No, I didn't.
There you go.
My bad. Tracy, you over there muting?
No, you was already on
Let me
She
speak.
do it all the time.
No, what I was going to say was what you just mentioned earlier was actually the experience that I had. So I've had only two separate experiences where I guess in hindsight, I would have definitely handled it different. The first one, I was much younger. I was, early 20s. And I had what I thought was a real genuine friendship with somebody who I just cut them off, 86 them after a situation happened. And so what I
Hold up,
found out
Helen.
was
Do you
that
have a ghost behind you? A door just
no,
opened by
it's
itself.
Straight up.
I was
Straight
like,
up.
what's going on?
Hopefully
The dog.
it's the kids
It's
or
the
Look at the
puppy.
dog. Look at the dog.
Can y'all make your mind up? Sorry,
Like,
it's the
I got
dog.
scared for a second, for real.
God, doors opening, like this might be the friendship from the past.
And y'all wasn't even gonna say nothing.
Hey,
Y'all wasn't even gonna say nothing.
That's because Tracy already know they just doing too much.
Them dogs.
Sit down. So I like completely canceled her because, I didn't even feel like at that time it was necessary for me to even approach her about it or discuss it, because what I had told her in confidence, like I knew I hadn't told anybody else, and that came back to me. So for me, I just felt like, how are you verbatim coming back to me? And the person that came to me was trying to hit me up like, look, I don't know about your girl because she was talking to me the other day talking about you, and I'm like, my girl, my friend? What? I mean, and it was nobody else. She basically just put herself out there. So there was no conversation. She, I just stopped returning her calls, answering her calls, returning her calls until she just got the message. And I don't even know to this day. I did run into her, and this happened years ago, but I did recently run into her like 2 years ago. And it was funny because the energy we had was like before when we were friends and we were good. And I felt that a little bit. And at this point, we're in our late 30s now, but I couldn't. And it was, starting to try, exchanging the numbers. And I just thought, why am I doing this? Why, like, I get people grow, but I wasn't ready for it.
No,
and
ma'am.
I didn't need to add no more new friends. Like,
I don't, it's crazy.
good
That
where I
part.
was.
That part.
So,
I don't even think it has anything to do with the question about whether or not she has grown, more so that this conversation has to be had. Like, why are we exchanging numbers? Let me say this to you. I did you dirty and you stopped talking to me. And I know why you stopped talking to me, but I can promise you, I don't want your number after you stop talking to me. We ain't even had a conversation. I may or may not have a defense to it. However, nah, we adults. We about to talk.
Honestly, I don't even think that was probably even anywhere in her mind, or maybe she didn't value the friendship the way that I did. That could have been the case. Maybe
she probably don't even. She probably don't even know the severity of what she did by telling your business to them other
they
people.
didn't have that conversation.
Probably didn't. I don't know. I don't know what she knew. I don't know if the girl that came back and told me the information ever went back to her and was like, because that could have happened because it was a mutual friend.
She didn't.
So she could have went to her and was like,
what's wrong
with Helen? She being super shady or whatever. She could have shared that with her. I still wouldn't know. But yeah, that was my experience. And then the second one, I cut somebody off just out of, I was just completely outgrew that friendship. It was a one-sided friendship. That's what that problem was, where I'm showing up. And then where you at? Where you at? Or how you only around when you need the kids watched, or you need, you know what I'm saying?
That's the reciprocity.
Or can be of some service to you. So that was a whole separate issue. But
hey, Helen,
what's up?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
With the first example that you gave, when you saw that girl, when you saw the young lady that was your friend, and you say, y'all did the whole exchange numbers and the energy was like it was before. Did you ever feel like I need to say something to her right then and now and be like, hey, did you tell so and so and so and so?
You know what? I thought about it, but I talked myself out of it because I was like, it had been at that point like 11 years. I'm gonna look crazy as hell and super petty.
11 years. Yeah.
Like, it was like from the time, like I ran into her 2 years ago, but I hadn't seen her or heard from her in like 10 or 11 years
Okay.
after the situation. So
So
that was that time.
after the situation, she never reached back out to you either.
Oh, she knew she was wrong.
She did.
Knew she was
She
wrong.
ghosted her.
Yeah.
Helen said she straight
She knew
ghosted
she
her.
was wrong.
Because you ain't gonna
No,
listen.
didn't Helen say she ghosted her? Like she was coming, she was calling and things
her.
like that. Helen just would not.
Okay. So she was reaching out. So she might not know
she was reaching out in the sense that she was calling, and then the voicemails, hey, it's me, Helen. Give me a call back or whatever. But it wasn't anything past that. I've been on the other side where somebody canceled me or tried to cancel me. That, and we were, had a really good friendship to this day, the homie. But when I sensed that, I felt I value your friendship. I care about you. So I'm not calling you like, hey, calling a couple times and leaving voicemails. I'm like, girl, you okay? Did I do something? Let me know. I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm not giving up because you my sister. We friends. I value this relationship. I'm gonna fight for it. My ego is not that big to say, I fucked up.
Yeah.
How can I make this better? I appreciate you in my life. So
But that's about being
I'm okay with that. But a couple phone calls and voicemails, I just wasn't even ready to be in that space and have that conversation. So truly, honestly, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, after 2 weeks or so, maybe I'll be ready. And I ain't hit, nope, she wasn't calling no more. So maybe she had hit her point like, well, fuck it, I tried. I ain't gonna keep calling, all right? She was very valid in feeling that way. So yeah.
Right.
No, that's true. Because when you do something wrong, you gotta, and you follow up, or if somebody's not answering, I'm with you. That's the first thing I'm asking. Hey, is something up? What's going on? Did I miss something here? Da 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 da. But if it don't really matter, if you okay with just moving on or letting it go, then you're not asking those questions.
So let me get this straight. She's supposed to ask these questions via voicemail.
No. Or, not the questions, but you can say, hey, I haven't heard from you.
She said that.
Anyway, it was mainly just calls and then voicemails like, hey, call me back, it's me, call me back when you get the message. Not so much, I mean, look, she could have called, text, smoke signals if you have to, something, that something ain't right, and we done had this 9-year friendship that meant nothing to you, like that wasn't worth anything. But again, maybe she didn't value it or felt
but
I
would suggest that both, whether you're on either side of the coin, whether you're the person who felt like they were wrong, or whether you're the person who did the wrongdoing, either way, I think the best thing to do is confront the situation head on. Because think about it like this: she did you wrong by telling your business to somebody, and it got back to you. And so you were upset or what have you, and that caused you guys to basically not be friends anymore. If somebody else heard you say that and tell your truth, and then they went to her, she would probably say, I didn't even know we had a problem. I didn't know that was a problem. Now, it's evident that she had to know something because she was kind of ghosting you. But still, I think it's better. I think that's the problem with a lot of people, is that people are scared to have those somewhat uncomfortable conversations, whether they were the one that did the wrongdoing or the person that was wrong. And because the fear of having those uncomfortable conversations, that turns into, we ain't talking a week, a month, a year, 2 years, 10 years. But
I totally
because
agree.
if you do me wrong, if I feel like you did me wrong, I'm gonna make you explain yourself. Like I'm never gonna be like, oh well, he ain't hollering at me, he ain't whatever, so fuck it, I ain't gonna say nothing. Nah,
but
you
some
going,
people may
especially if we have a
conversation
significant friendship over some years. Nah, dog, if I got to come to your house and knock on your door, like, we gonna talk about this. I need to hear you tell me what happened, what was the rationale behind it, or whatever, and then I can make a decision on what's gonna happen in our friendship, because I know all the facts. I'm gonna make you lie to me if you have to. But we're gonna talk about this. It ain't gonna just be something that's in the air.
How
Right.
you
No, I
how do
totally
you
what we're
force
agree.
talking
someone?
But that's
How
why I
can you
started with
force
my
someone to do that?
disclaimer before I started in saying that I would have handled it completely different.
right. And that's what
Today.
She
Yep.
said that.
No.
Yeah.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. I think a lot of this just basically
Yeah.
comes down to maturity.
Right.
It sounds like you're saying that, like you said, it was 9 years before y'all talked in your 30s. So what, that was maybe when you were, I don't know, 20, 30,
Yeah, in my mid-20s.
mid-20s. So you know what I mean? It's one of those things
Still
where
growing.
it just really depends on, you know, personality. If you're a type A or type B personality and you're that young, you don't know how
That's
to
true.
confront things without it being you feeling like it's a confrontation or you feeling like it's going to go somewhere else. So it all comes down to that. And let's understand her as well. She was that age. So let's say she knew what she had done. Just that shame, that guilt, needing you to push to bring it up for her to say it, not being able to. So it all comes down to
That's true.
maturity. Because now, like at 40, I think I handled things confrontation differently than I did in my 20s. I can tell you right now, you do something to wrong me, I need 24 hours to not talk to you because I might verbally annihilate you. So I need that time to within myself talk to me.
Yeah.
Versus 20-year-old will lay
I'm
her
not
hands on you.
I'm not passive aggressive in the least bit. So I don't think I'm allow you to have to call me multiple times or even give me passive aggressive. Hey, just trying to call you. No, I know exactly why you calling. Let's talk. Like picking up. So it just all just depends on maturity, who you are, your personality, and that just is what it is. And that's why again, it's just very, very important to open up and be able to talk about your growth of
I'm not
yourself,
mature
being
yet.
honest.
I'm going to cuss you all the way out.
On day one, you want to talk about it on the first day?
The first minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's some things you can say in the heat of the moment that you're, out of anger.
You're right.
If it's a bad
Doesn't deserve
situation,
the title friend.
right? Instead of taking that time, like you said, if you take a step back, breathe, and then be very clear on what actually is it that is upset you, what has upset you, because sometimes we're looking at the surface instead of what's really underneath, what really has taken place. Because it could be a string of things that led to this little breaking point. Because it could be like something really simple that just makes you snap, and then everybody looking at you like, "Why are you crazy? You getting upset over this one little thing?" You could be, no, there was a string of things that added up to this. So you have to be really clear on why you're upset, what was it, so that you can communicate it properly. But I was going to say, Calvin, how can you force someone to have a conversation with you? That's not going to be possible all the time, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Some people are not
Absolutely.
in that place where they're going to, no matter how bad you want to have the conversation and get answers, you may not be able to get that from them.
Well, you're right. And so, yes, they may not be able to articulate or have that conversation with you, but almost, okay, I'm gonna make you tell me that. Like I'm gonna make you tell me, man, look, I can't do this right now. I can't, like, I ain't, or something.
Essentially, what I think he's saying is he has a way of pulling some emotion out at some point, whether or not this person is gonna get super frustrated at his reach out and his persistent and insistency, and they gonna be like, listen, I don't want to talk to you, da 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 da, and then I've heard what you had to say. Now I know what you. So he gonna get something out of him. He's gonna incite some type of emotion.
You can also detect from that if someone's not willing to have that conversation or you're not willing to have it, just how important that friendship really was. Maybe it wasn't all that important. So what you thought was important turns out ain't so important to you after all, because nobody wants to be involved in that conversation. So you just have to let it go and move on. And you have to be okay with that, not getting that answer. Or giving someone the answer. They have to accept that it's not worth my time or energy to give it to you.
That's true.
Yeah. Corey online says everyone does not deserve the title friend. many are associates by default. And I think we
Yep.
kind of use that word so
Definitely.
loosely now, because when you have Facebook friends and Instagram friends, like that, babe, that's not your friend. Like that's not
Your
your
friend.
circle, baby.
Yeah.
You want to know what's
distinguish.
interesting to me? It's interesting to me when you see someone on social media using the platform in a very public way of speaking very highly in the high esteem of a certain person. Oh, and you know, we've been friends for 20 years and I ride with you and this is the best friendship ever. And you yourself have been in a room where this person, I don't know whether or not to laugh, feel bad for the person or what, right? Because I want to think that they genuinely, really, the person who is speaking of this person very highly, I deep down want to think they really feel this, right? But then I'm like, for this other person to speak of you in different settings or groups or so on and feel this way about you, how do you not know this? So
You
it's
talking about me?
Natasha, I need Natasha's input on this because it just goes back
I
to
want to know,
that.
are you talking about me?
What are you talking about?
It goes to that synchronization, right? Like, it's no way I feel like it's no way I can feel that way about a person and not know or recognize the movement in which this person really don't fuck with me. It's the craziest thing ever. I'm like, y'all not friends. Stop that shit.
I can say I've been a victim of that. I've been that person, but it goes back to when I used to be like, oh, your years. Like I know you for 20 some years, and hey, we have our differences, and it's gonna get back together. And you push for it, and it don't happen. So it's at the point where, and you know, as an Aries, me and you both know that we ride or die. Like we riding for you, we fighting for you. But at some point you get tired. And on top of that, my tired point got to a certain point at a later time, and it happens. Sorry. But yes, it happens. And I'm that person, I'm gonna fight for it. I would tell anybody, if we're going through something, I'd look them dead in their face. Hey, what's going on? How are we gonna fix this? Do we want to fix this? If not, let's move on. Let's go. That's how I feel.
That person,
but I will fight.
Years,
I will
like,
fight.
You know that it's a different vibe. Twin.
You can.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able to feel that is occurring. Yes. Or you are posting this post out of hopes, because we got to realize everybody not strong-minded. This might be some desperation trying to pull the person back in. The internet is a dangerous thing. You know what I mean? Like, you never know someone's intention behind a post. Or maybe this is a very passive-aggressive ass posting. We've been friends for 20 years and blah. And really, you know, you and this person just had an argument in the background, but you're trying to voice your opinion of how you feel about the person, even though they're trying to let you go. Because maybe this is one of those things where that person really outgrew this person, and they've already put that bug in their ear, but they don't want to let go.
I realized that person wasn't right with me like that, and she may have been doing stuff on the other side and saying certain things, but you'll come to me and say other things. So you're doing this over here with them.
Face off.
Yeah, but you can't show it because you done sat over here and said something else. So
that's always the case. Yeah. That's always the case. I mean, you know what? I got a question for all the panelists, right? Is the friend that is someone a friend that can hang with someone that clearly is not your friend? That's not how I wanted to word it.
I know what you mean. I know.
Like, yes, I say yes.
Yes. Okay.
I gotta be friends with your friends.
Where you? So that's how I knew I didn't word it, because that's not where I'm going with
how
it.
she wording it is.
But can that friend sit in there and talk about you with somebody and you not stand up for them? That's where the part comes in.
No, we're not gonna do that.
But
so it's like so like, I know you're my friend, and I know that you fellowship with folks who have spoken about me in a room. And so, and I can't believe that if ever I have come up in this room while you were present, that you actually stood up for me. Because I like to think you're gonna come to me and be like, listen, because again, this is what friends do. Like, it's no way somebody talking about you in the room. One, I'm saying something. Second order of business, I'm letting you know that I had to say something. This is what's happening. This is what was said.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do what?
If I wouldn't do what you just said. Like, okay, so let me example. Danetta and Tracy don't fuck with each other, but I'm friends with both of y'all. I love y'all both, right? And I'm with you, Netta. We at the bar, whatever. And you start talking about Tracy. I might say to you, man, look, I ain't trying to get involved. I don't even want to know about that. And try to dead it like that.
That's standing up for both of us.
But that's standing up.
I'm not gonna go back to Tracy and be like, hey, Slim, like, Danetta was yeah, she was going on you. Simply because that's how people get involved in shit. And next thing you know, everybody mad at you because I didn't say that, Boots. I didn't say all that. I ain't do all that whoop whoop. And I'm like, yes, you did. And then it turned into a whole thing, whatever. So
now you in the house with two women.
No,
while I may say, look, I don't even want to get involved in that.
That's it.
You
That's
talking
enough.
to a brick wall saying that to me, like, I fuck with her. Let's just talk about something else. But I ain't gonna go back to that person. And like that happened at one of my cabarets that you was at, Danetta. Not
but I think we're saying the same thing.
And that's what
I think we're saying the same thing.
Yep.
I think just like me and Natasha, I think we had said it at the same exact time when you had said it. You saying that to Tracy, I feel like you stood up for both of us. So can you be a friend to both of us, even though her and I aren't friends?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just requires you to say, I'm not listening to that. You're not going to have that conversation with me. Have that with someone else. You don't have to go back to the other person, because then that keeps a whole bunch of mess going.
Correct.
Correct. It takes for that middle person not to be a messy person.
Exactly.
Is what it would have to take.
Exactly.
Which usually doesn't happen.
The issue
right,
comes in,
Boots. Right, brother Boots. Boy,
the issue comes
that mutual friend sticky. Whoa.
The issue comes in is when somebody, one of the parties, then the Aries or me, will have an issue with.
Get the ad on.
Huh? No.
Get the ad on.
No, when somebody have an issue with the fact that, oh, you done went over her, no, we don't mess with each other.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's like kindergarten.
We ain't doing that.
Some people think like that, is what I'm telling you. So now you got an issue because now you hanging out knowing we don't talk and we both friends. You ain't supposed to talk to her. Why are you talking to her?
I can't subscribe to that.
Because each friendship is gonna be different. What I have with this one person and what you have, just because y'all don't vibe, y'all serve different purposes.
Some people don't understand that. I get that. A lot of people don't understand that.
I agree with you, Goldie. You have a lot of people who, if I ain't friends with them, you ain't friends with them. That's how they feel, grown ass people, and that's how they roll. Period. That is what it is. There's plenty of grown-ups who act
I'll be trying to tell people on Facebook so much that the word compartmentalize is very, very important. Because it's levels to it. So if Aries and Tracy don't fuck with each other, I'm not gonna not hang out with Aries because I'm with Tracy. But if Aries is like, man, I'm gonna take some money from her, or she telling me about how she about to do something real reckless, then we got a problem.
Tell me what the problem is. I want to know where you're going with this. Tell me give me the two major problems with that.
The two major problems with it is that if I'm in the middle of the situation of two people that don't fuck with each other, but I'm friends with the both of them, and one of the people is telling me about how they are about to or did some real fucked up shady shit to that person, you put me in a bad position, dog. You put me in a real...
So again, are you then required to stand on one side of the room?
Absolutely.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry, I couldn't
Okay.
find the word.
Okay.
Okay.
That,
Yeah,
and that is
absolutely.
often what
When-
happens. Somebody will put you in the corner
Right.
of where you stand and pick a side. Back to what Goldie said, because they don't really want you fucking with the other person
Exactly.
Yeah, nah.
anyway.
We ain't doing that. We're not
That's
doing that.
exactly what they do.
I've been in
Because
that
when you-
situation. I don't like
When
it.
you
I don't
put
like
me
that.
in a position, when you put me in a position where I now have to compromise my own integrity,
Integrity. Don't play with my
then we
integrity.
then we got a
Don't
problem.
play with
We
my
got a problem
integrity,
whether you my
baby.
folks or not.
Yeah.
because there's a difference between you just bad mouthing them, but you talking about you
Yeah.
intentionally going to bring harm to them
Yeah,
in
nah.
some kind of way. That can't happen. We got a
Nah.
problem, and so
Or I'm gonna even go here. I asked you for two. My second thing would be Tracy sit and say, I don't fuck with Aries, da 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 da, and you have to say something. Cool. You like, I don't really want to listen to it. Or you walk in and you in a mutual setting and Tracy going in about all of Aries' business. Right? I want to know
Deep
how,
down in
as
person.
Tracy's friend, do you feel safe that if she going in on me like that, and maybe I once was a friend, how you feel you exempt and you safe? Nobody's safe. At some point, you have to see people for what they are. Toxic ass people, and you got them to take a stance like, I don't really like the way you roll. I don't like how you flow. Like, it took me to see you in this light and how you feel when you decide you want to turn on folks, and that might be me tomorrow. So now I just might move differently with you.
that's the
Not
thing.
only
very
that,
true.
If you got somebody that's constantly doing that, and if they are not, if they not willing to say the same thing to that person's face, if you ain't never seen that happen, but they always saying it behind their back,
Yeah.
I can't fuck with you for sure. I'm
With
telling
you,
you,
I'm with
it's
you,
not gonna
Tasha,
happen.
because
Because
that's
if I got a
wild.
problem, I'm gonna
It
tell
gotta
you.
make you go,
And I say to people, I was like, I'm not saying shit to you I haven't said to them. So let's be real clear on what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
And so if I'm gonna say it to you, I'm gonna say it to them too. So we all know what was said. But if it's somebody I don't fuck with at all, then I don't even want to waste my time or energy discussing them, actually.
nah.
So
That's
that's where a really close friend of mine, she had another friend that was close, and I'm big on energy, right? So I walk into a room, and if I feel like this, oh no, this negative force, and I'm like, nah, hey, how you doing? Great, nice to meet you. But moving on, I'm moving over to the other side of the room, and my friends are like, yo, you can't do that. I'm like, I mean, I know you say she's good, but she good for you. She's not good for me. I don't know what that energy was, but I'm going with what I felt. Because when I go against it, it works out being really bad for me.
It ends up being exactly what you felt it was
What I
going to be.
felt in that moment. And so I had to say to, and so I've been around in a couple of settings with this individual, and I was like, yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, yeah, I can't be around them. And so I had to say to my friend, like, it was so bad for me. I was like, when you are spending time with her, please do not invite me. I do not wish to be in her presence. Like it was, and I'm going to tell you, it's okay. You go be friends with them. We're not going to discuss them. I don't need to know nothing about them, but I don't want to be in their presence, and I'm okay with that. And you need to be okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't have to be a part of everything you do, because your friends don't want to be my friends.
Facts.
Right.
But
Because we tend to do that. I think we tend to, I'm having something, now I want to mix these friends with those friends,
and I'm good about not
but
mixing
you
my
have to realize the energy in people and know your friends well enough to know who's going to mesh well together. That's so important.
It's very important, because the same friends get upset because I wouldn't invite her to certain events, and I'm like, this not for you. Like, this not for you. Like, I know who you are. I know who this person is and what this group is that I'm hanging out with tonight. That's not for you. And I'm okay. And different people bring different things to my life. I don't need all of you guys to be all together in one big happy family. That's not how this has to work. But like, it goes back to that maturity thing. It goes back to understanding. Because in your teenage years, when you're a little kid, your teenage, early 20s, you think all my friends, we all gonna go out,
Friends.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the ones that you don't even know, they not your friends, like you said, they an acquaintance. You got that, you put that title on them. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
man.
the most important thing my mama taught me from the time I was little, and she used to be
I'm your only friend.
my mom was like, if you get
They
one friend,
loved that, didn't they? Like, Mom,
You don't have no friends.
sis, I
I'm your
got friends.
friend.
I'm your friend.
and I'd be like, Mama, this is my friend. She'd be like, that ain't your friend. I was like, okay.
I love
But I
that
learned-
movement, boy.
That's
Hey,
gonna
yo,
be my friend forever.
So by the
All
time
our parents
People.
get all
my mom
our parents get to check us and be like, so how'd that friendship go with Sean
Yeah.
back when you was in third grade?
She pull up right now and be like, she thought that was your friend.
Right, right.
No, but that's important. So I'll tell people, no, that's an acquaintance. That's a buddy. That's a drinking pal. That's this. Yo, there's levels throughout it all. And if you don't understand that.
Yeah, it is.
I agree. I think that the best thing that I've heard tonight was you and Brother Boots compartmentalizing and realizing that everyone plays a role. So
because
I have 6 friends, but they're all not the same type of friend. And I think that was the best thing that I could have heard. That is very true. Everyone has their different role. I have them all for a different reason. And I'm even kind of different with each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I feed into them in a different type of way. And so I think that when you look at that picture that way, it lays the proper foundation. Know who you are to the person.
Exactly.
True.
And because they're different and you're different with them, there's going to be different kind of almost standards that are set to let you know when you've outgrown and ready to move forward or to let go. Because you're like, sometimes friendships grow and change. Sometimes when they just stay exactly what it was when you was 10 years ago, that's kind of a problem. If it's not, it has to grow in different directions. Because if you still that same person from 10 years ago and that friendship hasn't found a way to move with you in whatever direction, or it's holding you stagnant, which like Ari said, if I'm moving forward, I may not be going back or I may not move forward, but I'm not going backwards with you. So you can't hold people back. You got to be able to grow. And I think that's the most, compartmentalizing, reciprocity, and making sure that it's something that moves with you as you grow and that they're okay with that, to give you the space to grow and not expect you to be the same person constantly over and over who you have been for, 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Still wants you to be 21-year-old you. I agree.
That's a real friend, because a real friend wants your growth. They're going to root for your successes. They're going to be there to hold you up through your failures and to root you on and say, you can make it through this, and to help you to grow. They root you on, like, what's the next best thing that's about to happen? Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And if they not doing that, they just somebody you hanging out with some fun for a couple of drinks here and there, but it's not anything that you need to hold on to. Yeah. And those are the people I don't need to have a conversation with to explain why I moved on. They're not really on that level.
Right.
And you got to understand that.
Yeah, let me pose a different scenario really quick, in that what we just discussed was more so you had 2 friends who fell out, and then you have somebody else's, then they're going behind the back and doing all of that. How do y'all feel about, because this probably happened to everybody on here, when you haven't even, formed a friendship, you're just meeting somebody, but people that that you're close with, this new person comes along that they haven't experienced with, and they plant seeds in your head, and they're like, oh, I don't fuck with it. He or she or whoever it is, not a good look. Don't do it because they did X, Y, and Z to me, and they did so and so to, they did this to them. Because for me, I have an experience in that, I try to gauge and, judge people based on my own experience with them, because everybody is just not for everybody.
Exactly.
And so I still have like a good 10-year relationship with a good friend from a situation like that.
I don't like people trying to plant these mustard seeds of foolishness in my head.
Exactly. And then lost a friend that was the one that planted the seeds in my head. So that was a real interesting dynamic of how that happened.
I'll say this.
Uh-huh.
I,
Mm.
I wouldn't say that everyone that tries to bring something to you in that sense is necessarily acting out of malice.
Right.
I don't think everyone is. However, I think you have to know your audience, right? You have to know who it is that you are trying to save from this potentially toxic person, right? I'd be a lie if I could sit here and be like, can't nobody tell me nothing about nobody. I trust Shia with my life. She can absolutely come to me about a person I've never encountered in life and be like, this is what happened. Because the chances are it's not just going to be like, oh, no surface stuff. Oh, she's just fake and she does this. Nah, it's going to be real time stuff. Real tangible stuff that I know I don't even want around or in my spirit. So that's going to be enough for me to be like, if sis move like that, I don't think me and her can be friends, because I know the qualities, moral compass, and values and integrity that my friends have, which is how they get the label friend. I know their integrity. So this ain't she ain't somebody I can really bang with. Am I going to treat her horribly? Nah. Am I going to be different? Nah. Like Natasha said, I can probably sit next to sis at a dinner or at a bar and have a drink with her. Will she be my friend? Likely not. But then I will say you do have people that do speak things out of malice. And unfortunately, there are many people who buy and sip the Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. and with that, I'm always wondering, being the person that is hearing this, do you know that, like, how do you decipher whether or not this person is acting out of malice or they're not? Like, how close are you to this person, as to whether or not you could really,
I think,
what is being said, or take it with a grain of salt, like, oh, you just being messy, or nah, that was probably your experience with this person. Because again, one of my takeaways is accountability to yourself and to the person. If I really know you, I know you. I am holding you accountable. I know you toxic. I've seen you do this with 6 other people. So the fact that you bringing this to me about this person ain't new to me, sis. You know what I mean? So I think you acting out of malice.
I just said that to somebody. A friend of mine was like, "Oh, they did this." I was like, "What did you do?"
You know what?
Let's start with that. Let's start with that. And then she got quiet. It was like, "Shut up." I was like, "Exactly. Let's move on."
No, shut up.
And listen, it's about the messenger. How well do you know the messenger, and how well do they know you? And if you know them well enough, then you need to first call them out. What did you do to bring about a certain reaction from this person?
You gotta take in all the variables. You gotta take in who the messenger is. You got to take in how they present it to you. You got to take in exactly what it is they say.
What place they in.
What's the agenda behind it?
Add it all up and then figure out how you're going to carry it after, they finish saying whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it, and that's where compartmentalizing comes in, because it can't be a standard rule for all situations like that.
Correct.
Because it differs from person to person, situation to situation. So you really got to weigh all your variables and then kind of, do your own due diligence and how you going to move from that point forward. So it really isn't a singular answer to that. It's something that's very subjective. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that does happen a whole lot. That does happen a whole lot.
Southeast. The storm has reached southeast. No. It's just reached. No, it showed up, baby. It's like boom, chicka boom, baby. I said, oh.
Hey, listen. Wait a minute.
Hey, look, I don't have no lights in here. That storm is
Odie don't have no lights. She said power just went out. I don't even know where she is located.
Your power just went out?
Yeah.
It's thunderstorming.
Yeah, it's
so
storming.
We might need to wrap it up. I mean, it's not like we don't need to. We supposed to have been done at 8, but this is some real good dialogue. I would like for Helen and Boots to give me your takeaways, because I think everybody else gave their takeaways. Mine is accountability. Period. Point blank. Accountability to myself, and accountability to those around me. Like at the end of the day, you don't walk around here reckless. Because in a sense, I feel if you're my friend, you're an extension of me, and you gotta act accordingly. Real talk. Or I'm telling you, I put it to you. I have zero problem with that. None.
My takeaway
Wait,
is
pause. Can y'all hear me?
We
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's still connected to live on Facebook because my desktop went
It
out.
says we're still live.
Okay.
It says,
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna disconnect that. But anyway, real quick.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Boo.
No, I was just gonna say real quick. My takeaway is, taking the bull by the horn, like I was saying earlier. Like when situations come up, I feel like in my 44 years of experience that the best thing to do is to tackle it head on and to approach people and say, hey, is everything okay? Do you have a problem? Did I do something to you? Or, hey man, you did me dirty, or you did me wrong. What's up with that? Whatever. Because when people aren't talking, that's when people wheels start spinning, and that's when assumptions, and that gives the room for other people to start being in your ear, putting a battery in your back, and all that. But if we could become a society where we could be more inclined to have those somewhat uncomfortable conversations, I think a lot of misunderstandings that turn up into that end up turning into a big blow up won't happen.
Agree. And again, we may not even leave here actually agreeing on it, right? Or even being friends after or anything.
Yep.
But my stance, I know your stance. At that point, I would like to think I no longer need to go and build a whole anti-boots army.
exactly.
Shit.
Yes.
And I'd like to
Because
hope
that
you
be the
don't have to
problem.
do that either. And we just gonna be
They always
crazy.
want the minions.
Right.
Yes.
Always want
No,
the
straight
minions.
goons. I don't even call them peanut gallery, straight goons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I agree, Boots. That was good. Helen.
I think my takeaway is that I won't be held hostage to the notion of history with people, history with relationships, and everything is just not meant to be forever, and just being okay with that. I used to really beat myself up about outgrown relationships and having it end and all of this history, and like, do I put the pictures in the trash? Do I delete them? What do I do? I don't know what to do. And used to really like trip off of it, but as I'm starting to get, I'll be 40 this year. Hey,
happy birthday!
Join the club. Welcome to the club.
It's just been really eye-opening, and and then this climate that we in now, that's a whole completely different story. But yeah, I'm just going to continue being authentic, because with that, then I just attract where I am in that space. I notice that if I'm in a dark place, I'll attract I don't need to be around. And exactly. And when I'm not, then I'm happy at what I'm attracting. It starts to mirror who I am. And so as long as I stay in that space, and even if I'm not understanding how to handle it and deal with it better, then I'm okay with that.
Sweet.
That's
good. No, that's good. Goldie, you got any takeaways? I don't know if you're still here.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Trying to get everything back together. Oh. I don't have any takeaway.
Listen, my baby is doing the best that she can. My baby doing the best she can. She done said what she said to us. I feel like she still want to lay hands. I'm a therapizer later. I'm a therapizer later.
Lord. Y'all just know BTT gonna work on Trey.
We gonna work on her, y'all. She gonna be all right. Well, I thank you guys. Right. I thank everybody for coming on. Thank you so much. Boost, we love you.
Oh, wait.
Love y'all.
Hey, Boo.
Bye, girl.
Wait, Boots.
Huh?
And Helen, wait, real quick. Hey, Boots, you know who Helen is?
No.
So my cousin Renisha, Gooden, that's her sister-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Donald's wife.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Small world. I'm glad I ain't say nothing terrible.
You know what?
You don't speak
Thank
terrible,
God
brother.
for
I
filters.
ain't never seen it.
She was gonna have
heard
to
terrible
stop you and be like, "Don't be talking about her in front of me."
Right. I should have been. You should have DM me that so I could be like, yeah, man, Renisha, man, she's one of them people, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. I don't mess
You
with
could have
Shorty.
That's hilarious.
Baby, y'all started a whole
I had to put on
situation.
him. Wait a minute. My sister-in-law.
Because Helen here for the confrontation now. She like, you
Right,
ain't got
right.
the 20
She knuck
year
if you
go.
buck. She knuck if you buck.
You
That's what's
buck
up.
knuck if you buck. All right, y'all. Peace out. Y'all enjoy your night. Be
All
safe.
right, ladies. Y'all be safe.
Hope your
All
mom
right,
comes back on, Tosh. Bye.
Bye.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Funny.
Oh,
Good
my
times. Good times.
Don't
still-
go nowhere because I don't know how I'm gonna get this off live real quick.
Oh no.
Oh, Tom.
Everybody say bye.
We didn't see it back.
It's been great, BTT.
Oh yeah. See y'all girls, because I'm not sure. Yeah, it's still live. So we don't know how to get off the live, y'all. So we just gonna leave.
Lessons, technical difficulties.
Thank y'all for exactly. Love y'all. BTT out.
Ow.